Maul Shadow Lord Episode 3 is in the books, and we're here to dissect it as we always do. Hello, citizens of Geekville. This is Seth, aka Zandrax, the mayor of Geekville and the host of Geekville Radio, here to talk Maul Shadow Lord Episode 3, Whispers in the Unknown. As usual, I'll give my spoiler-free thoughts at the beginning before diving into spoiler territory for the middle, and I'll end the show with my predictions for the future. At its core, this episode is about perspective, and if there's one thing Star Wars has taught us, it's how different things can seem from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view?
Episode 3 leans hard into that, with every major character seeing a bigger picture than their own. Maul isn't swinging his double-bladed lightsaber around like the caged animal we saw in The Phantom Menace. He's getting into Devon's head. He's showing a really cerebral side to him, which we saw that a bit in Clone Wars. But this is a lot more layered, a lot more Machiavellian, I guess is probably the word I'm looking for. Devon is starting to crack. Maul is methodically preying on her frustrations. She seems to kind of admit that the Jedi way isn't working. Obviously, she's not fallen from the dark side yet, but she's at the top of the staircase, and Maul is the cat weaving back and forth at her feet. Captain Lawson is beginning to realize maybe he's in a little over his head. I'll say it again that I love how a cop is the main protagonist of a Star Wars story, because we really haven't seen that before. But Maul is not your average cop problem, and I think Lawson is starting to see that. And then there's Two Boots, my favorite part of the show. The coffee-dispensing droid partner nobody asked for, but everybody needs. Two Boots is starting to openly question Lawson's judgment. When even your droid partner, who faithfully greets you every morning with that fresh cup of joe, is starting to question you, then you know things have gotten pretty bad. Droids don't judge. Well, I guess except for Two Boots does. Over coffee. This is great character building, slow burn, deliberate. I'm intrigued to see where they are headed, where their destinies will unfold. And with that out of the way, I'm going to wave the spoiler tag here.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler hole has been breached! Spoiler hole has been breached!
All right, strap in. We are going full spoiler from here. If you haven't watched Episode 3 yet, close this down, go watch it, maybe grab a coffee. Just not from Two Boots. That droid has enough going on. And come back when you're ready. Still here? Good, let's go. We open with the obligatory recap, covering the highlights of the first two episodes. Maul capturing Devon and Vario, the brutal takedown of the Pike Syndicate smugglers, and Devon's escape from her cell. Everybody got that? So we pick up with Devon sneaking through what I am now christening the Maul Cave. As she explores, she sees Rook Cast and the other henchmen, who see her and do nothing. Rook even gives her a nod as if to say, yeah, you are on the right track here. They know that Maul doesn't want her dead. He wants her to be his apprentice. Then Maul greets Devon with a tea ceremony, not a lightsaber. Tea. I want to stress how unsettling this is. Being greeted by Maul with a lightsaber is terrifying, yes, but being greeted by him with perfectly brewed tea while he smiles and makes polite conversation, that is a different kind of horror entirely. So we've now established in this show that the good guys drink coffee and the bad guys drink tea. He notes calmly that she is beginning to see things in a different way, then asks for her name. Devon spots one of Maul's lightsabers resting beside him. This is a direct echo of Return of the Jedi, when the Emperor had Luke's lightsaber right there on the armrest, dangling temptation in front of him like a cat toy for Jedi. Palpatine knew exactly what he was doing. So does Maul. The conversation that follows is some of the best writing in the series so far. Maul doesn't rant, he doesn't monologue, he draws parallels between the fall of the Jedi Order and his own betrayal at the hands of Darth Sidious. He reveals that Sidious murdered his brother and his mother. Suddenly Devon and Maul have something in common. They both lost everything to the same machine. Same enemy. Different wounds. Eventually Devon grabs the saber and ignites it. This is the Return of the Jedi moment fully realized, just like Luke snapping up his lightsaber and unleashing on Palpatine in a flash of fury. But Devon hesitates. She's conflicted. The anger is there, simmering, but she pulls back. For now. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, well, across the city, we cut to the police station, where Two Boots greets Captain Lawson with a fresh cup of coffee. This droid runs on logic, and apparently also on customer service, because Two Boots is reliably caffeinated and ready to assist. Lawson fills Two Boots in on what he learned last episode from Rena Sewell. Maul has ties to multiple crime syndicates that were known as the Shadow Collective. Two Boots, being the diligent, over-caffeinated mechanical partner he is, notices a connection between Vario's group and the Pike Syndicate. In a genuinely sweet moment, Two Boots volunteers to investigate, so that Lawson can go to his son's shockball game. That's right, the droid is covering for the captain so he can be a dad. Two Boots deserves a raise, or at least a premium coffee brew. Back at the Maul Cave, Maul presses Devon further. He tells her she keeps running, that she craves the future that was stolen from her. He dangles the carrot in front of her. She could be the Jedi who finally brings him down. He's daring her to be something greater, or he's playing the longest, most dangerous con in the Outer Rim. Actually, probably both. It's Maul, and he learned from the best manipulator in the galaxy. Meanwhile, in the episode's B-plot, Two Boots spies on a rendezvous between Pike spice smugglers and Vario's men. The Pikes are not happy. They believe Vario was behind the attack that killed their people and stole their credits, which, as we know, was actually Maul who did it. But the Pikes don't know that, and they make their displeasure known by shooting one of Vario's men dead. Not very diplomatic. Two Boots, brave to a fault, attempts to arrest everyone despite being hilariously outnumbered. We've all seen RoboCop. We know why cops shouldn't go in without backup. This did not go well. In the chaos, Rook Kast destroys the spice shipment, and Two Boots walks away with 0 arrests and a bruised ego, which, for a droid, must be a particularly confusing sensation. This is the moment Two Boots decides it's time to call in the Empire. Now back to the shockball game. Yes, Captain Lawson actually made it, a small victory. But the galaxy has other plans. Master Daki approaches him, introducing himself as Devon's Uncle Daki, and asks if he has any idea where Devon might be. Lawson, a cop till the end, says, "Even if I did know, I couldn't tell you." Master Daki, voiced by the legendary Dennis Haysbert, warns that Maul is nothing like what they've seen and to tread carefully. That all-state voice is perfect for the character, but I can't help but expect Daki to encourage Lawson to make sure he's properly covered. The Force may not be enough in this case. Unfortunately, the shockball game is cut short when Lawson is called back to the station over the Two Boots incident. He misses his son's big scoring moment. The job always wins, for now. Back at the Maul cave, Maul offers Devon power, freedom from hiding, a galaxy where she doesn't have to live in the shadows because they will have destroyed the Sith themselves. He even asks, almost casually, whether she's ever encountered the Empire's Jedi hunters. A clear nod to the Inquisitors, the fearsome dark side specialists built specifically to wipe out Jedi survivors. And we know they're coming based on the trailer. But in the Star Wars galaxy, nobody expects the Imperial Inquisition. Devon's response? A force jump straight through the top of the cave. An escape. She's not escaping anything. She's just running in the direction he already pointed her. Lawson catches up with Two Boots, who confirms what Lawson already suspected. The Shadow Collective, Maul's outfit, has been deliberately targeting the Pikes and framing Vario's men for it. Two Boots makes the case, logically and firmly, that the Empire needs to be called in. After all, under the Republic, a Jedi would have been dispatched to handle a threat of this magnitude. But Lawson pushes back. The Empire is not the Republic. A statement that sounds like policy but carries the weight of something personal. And then, Two Boots drops a quiet little bomb on us. Lawson's ex-wife works for the Empire. Two Boots, ever the perceptive model of mechanical intuition, suspects that may be the real reason Lawson doesn't want the Empire involved. The droid doesn't say it outright, but you can practically hear the gears turning. Nothing like learning your boss's complicated divorce is influencing galactic law enforcement decisions to make you question the whole operation. Meanwhile, back at the Maul cave, Rook briefs Vario on the fallout from the destroyed spice shipment. The Pike Syndicate wants answers, and they want them from Vario. Rook tells him to reach out to Marg Krim, the head of the Pikes, and lay the blame squarely on pirates loyal to Demas, which is a beautifully cynical move. Blame the dead guy, because Vario himself killed Demas back in Episode 1. Vario is also instructed to offer a personal meeting with Krim to smooth things over. This, of course, is exactly the setup Maul has been engineering all along. Get Krim in the room, then Maul takes care of the rest. It's a masterclass in manipulation. Maul doesn't just play chess, he sets up the board 3 moves before anyone else knows there's a game. And then, as if things couldn't get more complicated for Lawson, we're back at the police station, where Chief Christ drops a bombshell of her own. Two Boots went around Lawson. The droid approached Christ directly about calling in the Empire. That is a full-on insubordination flag, and it tells you everything about where Two Boots' priorities lie. With the mission, not the chain of command. Logic over loyalty. No amount of coffee is going to smooth that conversation over. Lawson, to his credit, doesn't crack. He assures Christ that he will find Maul. Bold words for a man whose own droid has lost faith in him, whose ex-wife works for the organization he's avoiding, and who just missed his kid's shockball goal. But hey, this is Star Wars. The underdog speech is practically a tradition. The last scene gives us what they've been teasing for the whole episode. Devon finally fights Maul. I can't help but notice that once again, Star Wars characters have chosen to engage in deadly combat on a walkway with absolutely no railings. None. The galaxy has faster-than-light travel, holocrons, and weapons capable of destroying planets, but guardrails remain a mystery. OSHA would have a field day. The fight itself is masterfully staged. Maul fights defensively. No real attempt to harm her, while taunting her with every exchange. It's almost a mirror of the scene in Revenge of the Sith, where Count Dooku pushes Anakin to embrace his anger and his hate.
You have hate. You have anger. But you don't use them.
Devon gives in, bit by bit, and then, like every time before, she runs. Maul lets her go, but he takes his saber back. He then says her name, Devon, which is notable because she never gave him her name when he asked for it before. The episode closes with Maul's slow, satisfied smirk. He's in her head and he knows it. Let's talk about where this is all heading, because there is a lot of road ahead, and the signposts are pointing somewhere very interesting. Captain Lawson has a by-the-book droid partner who is openly questioning his judgment, and that tension is going to snap at some point. I can easily see Lawson going full vigilante mode, a la Dirty Harry, ditching procedure in favor of results because the system failed. He's already missing his kids' games for this. A man has nothing left to lose except his badge, and Dirty Harry tossed his own badge away. Could Two Boots be the one to file for Lawson's suspension? Droids operate on logic, not loyalty. If the data says Lawson is compromised, Two Boots will follow the data, even if it means fewer coffee runs. Two Boots seems deeply committed to operational efficiency. As for Devon, she is falling, slowly, dramatically. Maul is not pushing her to the dark side. He is letting her arrive there on her own terms. That's so much worse. Creator Dave Filoni has acknowledged that much of this show draws from George Lucas's original vision for a sequel trilogy. The prevailing theory is that Devon is becoming a canon version of Darth Talon. She may not take the Darth title, but the trajectory is clear. Another fan theory is about Rook Cast. Her accent, her style, her demeanor. Does any of this remind you of a certain legendary armorer from a certain show set decades later? And here's the gut punch prediction I'll end on. I believe Devon will be the one who kills Daki, her own Jedi Master, poetic, tragic, and exactly the kind of storytelling Filoni has made his career on. That's going to do it for this episode of Geekville Radio. Until next time, I am shutting down the power here in the Geekville Radio studio. May the Force be with you, and may your coffee be stronger than Two Boots' patience with Captain Lawson, because that supply is running low.